That's true. You surely want to be respectful in Japan, don't you? And that's why today I'll be showing this guy as a great role model. Because at least in my eyes as a Japanese person, he's one of the most thoughtful, considerate, and respectful foreigners I've ever seen. And I think anyone coming to Japan might want to steal the behavior and mindsets. Maybe some people disagree on that though, and just find him cringy or arrogant, as he complains a lot.
Wait, what? They're saying this dude isn't disrespectful, or is he talking about
mindsets? Maybe some people disagree on that though, and just find him cringy or arrogant.
This dude isn't respectful? Or are they talking about he doesn't think Mr. Affable is respectful? Is that what he's saying? As opposed to CDawgVA?
As he complains a lot about everything.
Am I the only one keeping this alive? Do you guys not appreciate sandwiches? I just complain about everything.
But to be fair, that's mostly when he's talking to non-Japanese people. If you pay attention to when he's interacting with Japanese people, he's clearly adjusting the way to talk or behave into Japanese way so well, and succeeding in being respectful. Having said that, why he still finds really difficult, like many other foreigners in Japan, is not capable or knowledgeable enough about formal ways of speaking or how to use the honorifics, which is honestly super complicated in Japanese, and this is what you should keep in mind.
In English, how you talk to your friends is in a lot of aspects the same way as how you would talk to your boss. Whereas in Japanese, we have formal Japanese and informal Japanese. The words we use are completely different.
But the reason I'm gonna feature this guy and what I wanna emphasize is, even if you can't be verbally respectful, I do think you could still convey your courtesy, respect, or formality to people in
I will not be watching, but good luck. Just had a 6-hour B2B day, and as usual, thanks. Why are you not watching the Stream Rewards?
Japan by your attitude or behavior, just like Kona does. But at this point, some people might argue that why would I bother in the first place? I'd rather play the Gaijin card, which make anything I do or say in Japan forgiven anyway.
Playing the Gaijin card basically means you get away with shit that Japanese people wouldn't be able to get away with in Japan, but they forgive you because you're supposed to be like a mindless foreigner.
Yes, I play the Baka Gaijin card pretty hard when I go to Japan.
I guess you could just play the Gaijin card and get away from anything you do, especially if you are a tourist. But I don't think that's what you really want, because I feel like this is kind of universal. And
okay, that's a little bit different though. Those guys that no, I think I do play the Baka Gaijin card a little bit, but I'm trying to be respectful, whereas those guys are not trying to be respectful and they're just being fucking assholes in general. Taking advantage of people's kindness or tolerance is one of the worst things we can do.
I really hope we all
in any
agree
culture or
on
country.
that,
I agree.
regardless of what differences.
Helping out, you know, others, being a good Samaritan is very like ingrained in a lot of Japanese people's minds.
I think most people will help you out if they hear you have no money here.
And so taking
Even if they don't know you.
advantage of that to make a video which you are going to make money off of anyway, also aiding this person in doing illegal shit, is just the most scummy fucking thing you can do.
Anyway, because Kona's so respectful to other people, it totally makes sense he's been surrounded by the same type of people, and that's actually the reason for his happiness.
And I'm like really happy that I have viewers who are so respectful. And I talk to you guys all the time on Twitter, and you guys are so polite.
The same is going to happen to you in Japan, whether you are a YouTuber, streamer, English teacher, or any other occupation. And if I have to give you the reason, chances are that you're gonna need support or assistance from them.
I need your help.
That's gonna make your job way easier. I'm sure these foreigners eventually will never have any support from Japanese people when they need it.
Connor Dog is an icon.
If you want people to respect what you do in
He's
Japan,
so
you
nice.
need to show them respect.
Are we polite to you? This guy made a pro Connor vid but anti Joey vid. Makes no sense. I saw that. That's why I wanted to see it. But I don't know if he's anti Joey. But so the thing is, I think my viewers are incredible and they're very nice. Okay. Wait, hold on one second. I think you guys are incredible. I have one of the best communities, if not the best community on the planet. I say this all the fucking time. You guys are really ruthless to me usually, and sometimes you meme a little bit out of pocket. But overall, this is a wonderful community full of wonderful people. As far as Connor's community goes, like, yeah, I think the community reflects the streamer in general. And that's it. You guys are ruthless to me and very nice to everyone else. Every other streamer that I collaborate with will always talk behind the scenes about how nice you guys are and how wonderful you are in general, but also simultaneously how terrifying this community is as a force of like cancellation. I guess we still have that shit.
First, and not to come off as a threat or nuisance in the culture, which I think he does get right.
And I'm not rude to anyone. It's all about that respect.
To show you how he's being respectful, let's take this video for example, and let me break down his behavior and intention.
My little bro showed me your Boo Boo Bennett vids and he loves CDawgVA. Yeah.
コナです。YouTuber です。僕の日本語ゴミです。
So this is one of the ways Corners often takes, because many Japanese do. I'm sure you're gonna get this kind of response all the time in Japan. And I want you to know that this is not self-hating or trying to be a negative person. We often skip this part, so it seems like it, but actually what we're doing is giving a compliment. So going back to Connor, he's also skipping this. And what he implies is, I acknowledge your higher position and respect you. And this is basically what he's doing. He lowers the position intentionally so that the other person gets higher than him and feels respected.
日本語はめちゃ遅い。私話しました。
In the same way, this is actually the message he's trying to get across, which works in Japan, and I'm sure all the Japanese persons in the room got his intention and appreciate it.
聞きやすい声ですね。
ゴミです。ごめんなさい。You made that look so easy that I'm kind of worried that I'm gonna look so bad when I do it.
By the way, Connor's not the only person doing this.
全然絵が描けないんで。
Now at this point, you might be feeling so weird and wonder why we take the approach. Mainly there are two reasons for that.
Because Japan operates on like a social hierarchy.
Another reason being
How did he manage to live years in Japan and still suck at Japanese? What are you talking about? He hasn't lived for years in Japan at all. This show's gonna be insane. QD pulling almost 90K viewers already. I know. It's like, if you think Canadians are polite, like Japanese are on crack when it comes to hyper polite.
behind it would be the lack of confidence. So I think many Japanese, including myself, wouldn't be comfortable or used to showing any confidence to others, unless they grew up in different culture, of course. And we often put too much importance on modesty, which totally makes sense, doesn't it? For example, when it comes to comedy, this works really well here. While in Western culture, especially the US, I've seen many people find it cringy or pathetic. Anyway, you don't have to follow this approach, but just to let you know that that's what we often take, and so does Kona, to show respect in Japan.
You did that perfectly, but if I mess up, what do I do when I mess up?
And this is another his habits that he always executes.
ありがとうございます。Thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking to me. ありがとうございます。Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
It's not politeness, it's crushing vertical submission as a society.
Thank you so much, Kaho. And thank you so much for being a beautiful, amazing boyfriend. Thank you.
Actually, this is the first thing we get taught in Japanese education, so deeply ingrained into our mind since an early age. And that's why compared to other language like English, Japanese has way more words or expressions to show gratitude.
I like how
I explained this before, like when we were watching the Miyazaki the video where like I was shocked when I found out that in Japan, I think was it Kaho who told me this? Like you don't normally say no. Like even in like polite conversation or even in like regular conversation, you don't straight up say no. You can say it. It's a thing that it's a word in the language. But the liberalization of Japan, no, it's straight up like the way you say no is like you take like I'm sorry, that's not possible. You take like multiple avenues, multiple side steps to be able to fucking basically say no, which is crazy to me. I think that's like it showcases how different a culture is.
how Japanese culture treats others or even objects or food with a polite and thankful manner.
Unfortunately, this is kind of trending in the world these days. So if you come to Japan, why not take the opportunity to express
The Japanese were not respectful at Nanking. Okay, dude. Like, yeah, I know. That's insane to fucking bring up while we're currently talking about like contemporary or even like Japanese culture in general. Like, yeah. They also are, you know, the government is a genocide denier, but it's like wild to bring up right now.
their gratitude more often than usual. Not just that's gonna make other people feel better about you, but also benefit your mental health.
皆さん貴重な時間を本当にありがとうございます。自分の英語はちょっと聞き取りづらいと思う。
If you ever watch a Mercedes video, I'm gonna mention Hitler. Yeah, it's like this is not even about like this is about like civilians in general,
ですけど
okay?
もこうやって我慢して聞いてくださっていることに本当に感謝しております。
When it comes to conversation in Japan, this is what usually happens, so he follows it, which basically means he never interrupts and merely focuses on listening to the other person. In baseball, we clearly separate defense turn and offense turn, and only focus on either one. So in baseball conversation, cutting in someone like this doesn't happen.
You're right to speak your mind about it. What I don't understand.
I'd like to
what
say,
I don't
even before the
understand.
1920s,
Do you know what I mean?
women could speak openly.
It's not,
Well, I
it's
haven't
not,
watched
it's
the
not
whole
a
thing.
but.
I haven't watched the
need
whole
you to
thing.
watch.
I know.
Okay,
I know
so
what you said
I want
about.
you to-
Okay, this channel is so unusual. Because like the clips that they're using are so odd.
I'm gonna finish.
While playing ice hockey, on the other hand, defense or offense could switch any moment quickly.
Can like match
the
I
smell
just
of
think
bacon.
bacon is like it's not that great. Like it just kind of tastes okay.
Just give me like a nice piece of pork or ham.
Especially the American bacon.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
Depends
this is
on
an
the
insane
context.
take. That's a bad take in general.
But in my experience at least, I would say most people would be confused by that and not really comfortable. So especially in a group conversation like this, probably you often see a Japanese person end up talking nothing.
Why? That's a good fucking question.
Maybe you're guessing that that's because we prefer baseball to ice hockey, right? Which I don't think is true. I personally know so many Japanese passionate about it. So the bigger reason in my opinion would be that one, unfortunately we couldn't have much class or opportunity to nurture our debating.
I've only been to Japan 2 times, but I'm definitely going again soon.
Or speaking skills. It's mostly
That's a certainty, like the top of the hour ad break. You know what I mean? And Miskiff does want to come over, but like I keep telling him, bro, it's gonna be cutting it short. You know what I mean? He's gonna be cutting it fucking close. And this motherfucker's like, we'll just come, we'll just chill. China trip when? Sorry if you already addressed this. I want to do that as well.
about simply listening rather than expressing opinion assertively. And secondly, jumping into a conversation could cause disturbing harmony and making waves. That's right, it's one of the deru kui wa utareru. And besides,
I found being this polite in the West, people just walk all over you. Yeah.
even if you are quiet or passive, maybe you'll get a chance to make your voice heard because everyone's respectful and values harmony. But in the States, for example, that's not gonna happen usually. So you often need to be assertive or aggressive whether you like it or not.
Jump in, just go through the
Lily the
Anyway,
Chaos
from
God,
what
thank you for
I
the 5
see
tier
at
1
least,
gifted
he
subs.
clearly adjusts to a Japanese style conversation, which means focus on listening more, nodding frequently, and never interrupts the other person. Also,
As an American, you can only stay for 6 days visa free. Wait, China has visa free travel now? Since when? Your obsession with Japan is your most fascist quality. Don't ask me to explain. I mean, you're absolutely correct on that. That's number one. And number two, oh, no, I didn't even realize there was visa-free travel to China. But yeah, you're 100% correct on what you just said. Sandwich, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. See you soon, Sandwich. That's literally a correct assessment. But my most fascist quality is not my hyper obsession with Japan. It's actually my food takes. I'm basically a food fascist.
So, perhaps consciously, he often avoids excessive hand gesture or movement, making too much eye contact, and using harsh words or swearing as well. Which, by the way, is not just when he's interviewing someone, but pretty much any interaction he gets in Japan. While talking to non-Japanese or other foreigners, he clearly switching the mode and sounds completely different. I'm sure many people already know this, but I wanna remind you in case you forgot. Simply switching the language usually doesn't work, especially if you wanna be respectful. The culture should be taken into account. Anyway, moving on.
I think one of the funniest parts about Connor is that he has a lisp when he speaks in Japanese. Like, he has a different accent.
This is what Connor always keeps in mind.
They probably feel that from a normal person's perspective that like what they do is unusual, and it's my job to be like, hell no. Like, let's do it.
Many foreigners often find something we do cringy or weird and neglect to even try.
I think as Americans or just Western society, we assume that the whole world is going through the same thing. We always look through the lens of America. Like, we always have American lens when we look at different countries.
But this man's clearly different and open-minded. He's willing to experience some things that he's not comfortable or used to and try to appreciate it, which is actually his biggest strength.
Would you consider this cultural appropriation? Is not necessarily wrong, but certainly questionable. What? Every country isn't as judgmental as the US. First of all, I think Japanese people are hella judgmental. What do you mean? Japanese people are probably more judgmental than Americans in general. If you're looking at like on average, no, I would say there are plenty more countries that are infinitely more judgmental than the United States, as a matter of fact. The major difference, however, is like where and how they're being judgmental. Like, I feel like Japanese people will never fucking check Sean's fit on cutie stream. Oh shit. Let's see. Quick. God damn, he's dripped out.
Cartoons, stuff like that. We do gaming. We play a little bit of Valorant. We do a little bit of everything here.
Wow, that's awesome. And Gremlo, how about you? What do you like to stream?
I'm a variety streamer. I cover current events,
Gremlo
stuff like that.
And Sean.
Okay, that's so great.
Insane.
Is there anyone that you're excited to meet tonight, Sean?
God damn.
Okay, first Hasan probably, because Hasan has always been like a huge inspiration. He's a big push for me, momentum-wise, for my growth. That, and then I say probably Pokey, yeah.
Queen Pokey, of course. Gremlo, and you?
Well, I'd really like to meet someone who's really been pushing forward ginger rights advocacy, and I want to meet Will Neff.
Will Neff.
Oh, well, good for you. He's right over there. So maybe after this, you can be like, hey, Will, that's awesome.
Gremlo looks like a motherfucking Bleach character, dude.
Like, what
the
emotions
hell?
are going through you?
It's like starstruck, right? Because I see people that I've been watching like forever. Like, I've been a huge fan of Extra Emily specifically.
They
like,
both look so goddamn good. It's
Thank
crazy.
you. Yeah, the IRL content is great, amazing. But like, it's been very much like very professional. I like it. It kind of makes you feel like you made it.
He about to hit you with the Zumpuck.
That's awesome. How about you, Gremlo?
I'm actually just kind of in awe of what Cutie's been able to put together. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And my last question is, what is your current favorite song to put on loop?
Oh, that's a good question. Dreams and Nightmare by Meek Mill. Easy. That's number one.
Yeah? Junko Ohashi's Telephone.
Okay, I'll put those on my playlist. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you, Gremlo, for the interview, and I'm excited to see you inside. And good luck.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And is this Pom Pom? It looks like we have Pom Pom and March 7th today. Nice to have you guys.
Man, people talk all the shit with streamer awards at the very least, and he chooses to drip the fuck out. Yeah, I fucking if I don't deliver now, it's gonna be awful for me. Okay, this is devastating. I gotta fucking drip the fuck out. Do you think Emily took a shower? I'm sure she did. Okay, wait, hold on. When Miz gets here, I'll change. I'll do my drip and drown. You know what I mean? And you guys can watch.
And reason for the success in Japan.
Utilizing my strength, which was that I think I was, I could withstand cringe to a degree that I think other people couldn't.
Now let's keep in mind that our human brain is capable of adapting, and you don't know what you're gonna like actually. For example, this was completely out of his comfort zone, and he has no idea about it. But in the end, this is what happened.
So that was Japanese wrestling, and I gotta say,
That's
it was
sick.
a
This was
ton
so
of fun.
sick. He's done
I come
such
away
cool
with a
shit.
massive appreciation
Are you gonna
of
stream in the shower? What do you mean? I showered beforehand.
Wrestling, and especially these wrestlers.
The same might happen to you. Whatever you find weird or cringy in Japan. Why not try it at least once? I think you don't truly appreciate it till you actually try it. Whether that's
Miz and Lud eating stream again. That was a fucking sick ass stream, wasn't it? When Ludwig fucked my house up and we had a sturströmming.
About food, customer, or people. Which brings my next point.
The most important thing is talking.
Not many foreigners doing it. They only stuck to other foreigners. Maybe because they're afraid of making mistakes or offending Japanese people. And that's why they're still not sure how to show courtesy or respect in Japan like Connor does. Despite of all the compliments I said toward him, Connor's not perfect and still makes a lot of mistakes and feels embarrassed a lot.
恥ずかしがってるから、もっとかっこよく。
That's because I am.
But he's not discouraged by that and
Look at
still
that.
actively interaction
That's
with
right.
people.
This is not
That's how
what
he's
I'll be wearing tonight. I'm coming through. My outfit is in the green room right now. Will.
Excellent, excellent. And any predictions on
He looks
winners
so
tonight or
goddamn good.
anyone you want to win? I know you're the boss, so you can't really say.
Well, Will, I'm trying to remember. I believe you are nominated. And in fact, I believe I was streaming with Caroline when I voted for you, Will. Okay? So I'm looking for you to win, Will.
I am the Bob Odenkirk of Twitch. I will not win the award tonight. That is a guarantee. But Dan, thank you so much for joining us. I'll let you go circulate, and I'll throw it back to you guys.
They're already at 150 almost. Goddamn.
Are we
Sheesh.
clear? I don't know.
I'm so happy. I want this to go really well. Obviously, I love Cutie. She put her whole bag into this thing. You know what I mean? And she's been like, so goddamn stressed out, non-freaking stop. You know what I mean? And it's going well so far. I hope it's gonna be good. I'm very excited. That's just on Twitch. She's streaming on YouTube and Twitter. With you and Will, who's Keenan and who's Kel? I don't know what the references look like for that. What did the last awards peak at? I don't know. Ooh, Pirate Software.
Nominated for software and development category. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Software and game development's finally a category on Twitch, and now it's up here at the Streamer Awards. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can you kind of describe like what you like to do on stream and what you like to show off for the software aspect?
Sure. So a lot of what I actually do on stream is trying to get other people into the gaming industry, because it's so hard to enter the gaming industry. It's so hard to get advice of, you know, what can I do to go make games? And many people think,
If you stream this, you have to put it in a category. I'm not streaming it. I'm just like going in and out every now and then. I'm going to be on the stream in a
and
second.
learns the mannerism quickly and effectively. So I suggest you do the same in Japan. As much as you don't want to be a dick or offensive to anyone in the different culture, you shouldn't be too afraid of making mistakes.
This is so funny. Dude. People being like, Hasan, I don't want to be annoying, but are you allowed to restream it? Chat, I love you all. Okay. 1, I'm not restreaming it. 2, I'm going to rate it as soon as I leave my house. 3, I don't know if you know this, but Cutie is one of my very good friends and a part owner of the podcast that her and I do together. It is so wild that people are fucking talking about this like this is a completely separate entity. What is happening? Also, 4, I literally did the red carpet that Will's doing currently. This was my role. Where the fuck is Connor? I thought Will and Connor were supposed to do this together. This was my fucking role last year. What the fuck is happening? Yeah, Charlie's probably streaming it because he has permission. Parasocialist overload is currently occurring. I suspect that oh, Connor was on. Yeah, you're right. I suspect that that the closer we get to the actual award, the more crazy people are gonna get.
Mistakes or embarrassing yourself. Otherwise, how would you notice your mistakes in the first place?
You know, you're just living your life.
Did you put out a tweet if you're invited and not going to restream? Going to not restream except for a few exceptions. I'm not restreaming the fucking event. I'm gonna die.
doing things, and you're like, oh, this thing I did could have been damaging to in this kind of way to either myself, maybe people around me, because I just didn't realize. Biggest help, and this probably sounds like a nightmare for introverts, was going out to bars and just speaking with people in Japanese. And I was really bad at it, but I did manage to hold some conversations.
If going to a pub or bar is a natural cup of tea, for example, meetup.com or language exchange apps might be something you wanna take. Or if you are comfortable on camera, maybe you wanna do streaming like Connor. And why not sometimes interview people in Japan and testing out your Japanese? Anyway, there are many ways you can take, and whatever you choose, I think
Is
you
the
should...
weird drama frogs that were crying about restreaming shit and restreaming channel drama is so weird? Oh, is that what it is? Well, it's so funny to try to do a drama about what my situation
Keep in mind
is.
his great advice.
The way to improve your speaking in Japanese is to speak Japanese. You guys are in a really unique position where you're in Japan, you're interacting with Japanese teachers, you're interacting even with Japanese students. So I think it is so incredibly important to fully utilize that.
And finally, every time he's interacting with Japanese people, this is what he does much more often than when he's talking to non-Japanese.
I'll try and not mess up as much this one. ごめんなさい。恥ずかしい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。Sorry, I offended you. That didn't do you justice at all.
Which you might find weird based on your culture. He doesn't need to lie because clearly he's not making any trouble. But Connor rather take the opportunity to show respect or courtesy. Not just in Japan, but these cultures at least. Apologizing is one of the most common ways to show your respect.
You guys are good. You guys should be voice actors. That's a terrible joke. I'm sorry.
To be clear though, this could be taken.
Would you consider these passport bros? Yeah, dude. The one guy that he showed literally is Japanese. The other guy that he showed, who's my friend, is there on a work visa, specifically to work in Japan. Yeah. No, dude, it's not. The fuck? No. Of course not. Passport bros, for those who don't know, are usually people that go to countries that are usually significantly poorer than the United States of America, to go and like they're like sex pests, and they'll go there to like find women. You know. Yeah, often to like Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, places like that, Thailand, India, that sort of stuff. Engaging in sex tourism. I don't think you can do that for Japan in general because it's absolutely in the sphere of Western Empire. Classic Hasan in Berlin. Yeah, dude, he doesn't love us. Doesn't stream his friends' content. Now you need permission. I hope Jenks' nephew gets in on board. Classic Hasan stream in Berlin. The people that think that, like, for example, I have to, for people who think that I did sex tourism in Germany, if you still do have this kind of idiotic opinion, I think you need to remember there's a difference. Okay, 1, I've dated sex workers. 2, I am pro-sex work. 3, I certainly do not need to pay for sex, unlike you fucking loser, who will never actually see love for the rest of your life. You will forever be a lonely little fucking worm. Okay? That's why, even on a fun day like this one, you're in the chat with your 11th fucking sock account, okay, as a 45-year-old fucking loser who still lives in a goddamn basement somewhere trying to get a fucking rise out of someone. Okay? It sucks. This kind of attitude is not going to help you, okay? It's not going to make you better. Claiming that, classic, I've triggered you, is not going to make you look cool. Even in your own fucking Discord servers that you go back to be like, I did it. I got a rise out of them. I promise you. It's not going to make you feel fulfilled. It's not going to make you feel better. You are just going deeper and deeper into this dark pit that you exist in. Get better. Okay?
negatively even in Japan. And just because you become apologetic, it doesn't mean you'll be respectful. But in Connor's case, it
got him
doesn't
good
come
by
off
being
negative.
a fucking
It's clearly
loser.
genuine and sincere. Doesn't feel fake, at least from a Japanese perspective. Anyway, based on my experience at least, the focus and intention would be quite different depending on the culture. And that's why Japanese people often apologize.
Imagine being like going to Germany for sex tourism. It's like, that's not fucking that at all. I don't participate in sex tourism regardless, dumbass. What we're talking about is people who are like very proud about like openly going to poorer countries so they can like date the women there or some shit. I don't even fully understand what it is. But it's exploitative. And it's also usually not legal sex work.
Even when we're clearly aware that we're not really blame.
Sorry.
Now please keep in mind that these wouldn't be the only ways to be respectful. So if I'm missing anything, please let me know that in the comment below. And let me thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. ありがとうございました。
Like the military dudes in the 70s and 80s that brought home heaps of Japanese, Vietnamese, Russian wives. I mean, that's like another byproduct of direct warfare.